to discuss optoelectronic devices. That means semiconductor devices which work with respect to light. Okay. The main optoelectronic devices are photodiode, solar cell, and LED. So we discuss one by one. So the first we discuss about photodiode. First we discuss photodiode. So photodiode is essentially a PN junction diode only. So, but in the reverse, it is specially designed to work in reverse bias. Okay. So, photodiode is basically a PN junction diode. As we know, in a PN junction, what happens? In a PN junction, when a P in a semiconductor, it is doped one half with P and one half with N, we get a junction, PN junction. When the PN junction is formed, a depletion layer is formed at the junction like this. Because the majority carriers of N type, that are electrons, diffuse from N side to P side, and the majority carriers of P type were the holes which diffuse towards N type, so that near the region, near the junction, a region is formed which is free from mobile charge carriers. So there is immobile charge carriers, immobile ions in this N type region and P type region, because here excess of electrons are there. When these electrons move towards this P junction, leave behind a positive ion in this region. So a positive ions remain on this junction, in this side of this junction, and negative ions in this, because this one accepts one electrons. So this region becomes, so an electric field is induced here like this, and the potential across this depletion layer, what we say, barrier potential. Okay, as we know this. Now if we connect, or if we make this PN junction reverse bias, that means connecting negative terminal of the battery to the P type and negative terminal of the battery to the P type and positive terminal to the N type, you will get a reverse bias mode. Now in this reverse bias, actually the diode will not conduct in reverse bias, and the width of this depletion layer increases, as we discussed in the last classes. Okay. So as the depletion layer width increases, that means it shifts to another position like this. But current, it does not allow the current to flow, because due to this battery. So current does not flow across this junction. But due to the minority carriers in the P type and N type, a small amount of current flows through that PN junction, that we call it as saturation current. What we call it as saturation current, or leakage current, or dark current. Okay, a small current flows through this resistor, because we have connected to a resistor, so that a small current flows through this resistor, and that current is called leakage current or dark current. Now if in this situation, if light is allowed to incident on this junction, light is allowed to incident on this junction, that means this widened depletion layer. Not only depletion layer, it also light also incidents on this N type and P type also. Okay. Now when this light when this light is incident on this depletion layer, where in this depletion layer consists only immobile ions, positive ions in N type and negative ions in P type. So when this light is incident on this PN depletion layer, if this light has an energy is equal to h nu. As we know, light photon has energy E is equal to h nu. If this light photon of energy E, which is greater than the forbidden gap of this greater than or equal to the forbidden gap of this material, then what happens? It will excite some electrons so that it will generate electron hole pairs. Now how we can see like this? Now in this depletion layer, what is there? Positive ions, because whether it is a silicon atom or donor impurity, whatever it is, suppose these atoms forms 4 covalent bonds with neighboring atoms like this. Okay. This semiconductor atom or impure atom forms 4 covalent bonds like this. Now that means these electrons have, according to energy, now I will draw energy band diagram here. This is the conduction band, this is the valence band, this is the forbidden energy gap Eg. So this is conduction band and this is valence band. So these electrons have an energy equal or less than this maximum energy of EV. Suppose EV is the highest energy of this valence band. These electrons possess an energy equal to EV. When they become free electron, their energy may be EC. So this, to get an electron energy from EV to EC, external energy equal to Eg must be supplied. Suppose if the incident photon energy has energy greater than or equal to this forbidden energy gap, what happens is, by absorbing this light energy, these electrons are excited, so that this particular photon light energy dislodge this electron and create a hole here. Okay. When light is incident such that the energy of the light photon is greater than or equal to that of this forbidden energy gap, so it may dislodge this electron and create a hole here. That means again electrons are generated, so that when one photon interacts with one electron and hole pair is generated. So whenever an electron becomes free electron, a hole is generated here. So electron hole pairs are generated. Pair is generated. Okay. Now due to this barrier voltage or barrier field, what happens? This electron moves towards the positive terminal like this, and the hole moves towards this negative terminal. Okay. Now if this electron moves towards this end, 1 minute, I will draw another diagram like this. Suppose assume that this is the depletion layer, this is the N plus 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 plus, and this is minus 1. Now when electron moves towards this end and hole moves towards this end, because electron is a negatively charged particle, it moves towards the positive terminal, and it is a negative one, positive one, it moves towards negative one. Now this electron moves towards this end. When here it comes to this electron, so slowly what happens is this depletion layer width decreases, because as this electron reaches this one, there is an excess electron there, so that it will become N-type material like this. In this way. Now if number of light photons are incident, so that electron hole pairs also increases. Okay. When number of photons, that means intensity of light increases or the illumination of light increases, number of electron hole pairs generated increases. Okay. So that the width of this depletion layer slowly decreases. Okay. So now coming to this original diagram. Okay. When light of energy equal or greater than the forbidden energy gap of the material is made to incident on this material in this depletion layer. Now electron hole pairs are generated, and these electron hole pairs are called optically or photo generated electron pairs. Photo generated electron hole pairs. Actually in semiconductors, how these electron hole pairs are generated is they are produced thermally, where by increasing the temperature we produce electron hole pairs. But here by the incident of light we generate electron hole pairs. That's why they are called photo generated electron hole pairs. So with this increasing number of electron hole pair junctions, so that they move or they diff in these electron hole pairs generated, these generated electron and holes are drifted in opposite directions, so that they will decrease the width of this depletion layer. When once they decrease that means decreasing of depletion layer indicates increase in current. As the depletion layer decreases, resistance decreases, so that current will flow across this junction, so that a current flows through this junction. In addition to the already, if there is no light, there is a small amount of current is flowing through this PN junction due to minority carriers, and that current we called as saturation current, as a dark current or leakage current. But due to the illumination of, due to exposure to the light, number of electron hole pairs increases, so that the depletion layer decreases, current flows through this circuit in addition to this saturation current. So that means in excess to the saturation current. Okay. In this way this photodiode works. Okay. How this photodiode works is, photodiode is basically a PN junction diode only, but it is operated in reverse bias. Okay. When there is no light incident on this photodiode, a depletion layer is formed. Due to the application of when it is reverse bias, due to this reverse bias voltage, width of the depletion layer increases with the increase in applied voltage. Now at this time, if light is made to incident on this depletion layer such that the light photon of energy E greater than the forbidden energy gap of this material is made to incident on it. By absorbing this light energy, some of these valence electrons are excited and they dislodge from their positions and they become free electrons. As when they become a free electron, a hole is created in their position. So in this way, electron hole pairs are generated, and these electron hole pairs are called photo generated electron hole pairs. And these electron hole pairs are these generated electron hole pairs drift in opposite directions, where electrons drift towards this positive polarity or towards their n type, and holes moves towards this negative ions polarity, that is towards their p type. In this way what happens is the width of the depletion layer decreases, and slowly the resistance offered by this depletion layer decreases and current flows through this circuit. Already there is a current called leakage current. So a current flows in addition to this leakage current. Okay. If we connect this in a shunting mode, that means if we connect in series, it is called photoconductive mode. If we shunt this resistor, this one, what is called as photovoltaic mode, that is used in solar cells. Okay. The working of solar cell is similarly that of this photodiode only. Okay. Now, if we increase the number of photons, incident on this diode, number of photons, increase the number of photons. How we can increase the number of photons incident? Because the intensity is proportional to number of photons, as we know by photon theory. So intensity of light means number of photons. So if we want to increase the number of photons, we have to increase the intensity of light. That means if more intense light is incident on this PN, this depletion layer, more number of electron hole pairs are generated. More number of electron hole pairs are generated means its conductivity increases. So that conductivity increases means large amount of current flows compared to the original one. So with the increase in intensity, the current through this circuit increases. Okay, as there is a leakage current plus current due to photo generated electron hole pairs. If we increase this number of photo generated electron hole pairs, the current also increases. Okay. So the characteristic curve of this photodiode is actually in reverse bias PN junction, the curve is like this. We get like this. But if we increase the intensity, what happens is the amount of current, this is the voltage axis, this is current axis. Okay. If we increase the intensity, more current flows through the circuit like this. This is intensity I equal to 0. That means when there is no light incident, without light incident on this particular depletion layer, this is the leakage current flows through this junction. But we increase the intensity is equal to I1. Suppose if the intensity is I, then the current increases like this from this position to this position. When the current is 2I, that means more intense light is incident on it. Current increases like this. And if the current is increased more, then we get a current like this. So this is the characteristic curve of this photodiode. Okay, in this way photodiode works. Okay, so photodiode is basically a PN junction diode, but it is mainly operated in reverse bias, so that when this depletion layer is exposed to light, or light is made to incident on this depletion layer, whose energy of the photon, a photon of energy greater than the forbidden energy gap, what are there? These ions, the valence electrons in this depletion layer are excited to the conduction band, okay, and produce or generate electron hole pairs, which in turn decrease the width of this depletion layer, so that the resistance of, when the depletion layer width decreases means its resistance offered by the depletion layer decreases, so that current flows through this circuit. In this way, this photodiode works. But when we increase the intensity of light, that means by increasing the intensity of light means the number of photons incident on this device increases, so that number of electron hole pairs generated increases, conductivity increases, so that more current flows through this junction. So the characteristic curve is like this. This is when there is no current, when light is not incident on this current, this is the leakage current. When intensity is increased gradually like this, I, 2I, 3I, 4I, so that the current across the junction increases like this. So this is the VI characteristic of photodiode in reverse bias mode. Okay. Now the second one is solar cell. Now the second one is solar cell. So this is also an optoelectronic device. So solar cell means, by the name itself we can say solar, that means it essentially converts solar energy into electrical energy. Okay. So solar cell is the device which converts solar energy, actually light energy, into Actually what photodiode is, photodiode also converts light energy into electrical energy, but here solar cell particularly it is solar energy into electrical energy. Solar energy is light energy, so solar energy into light energy. So the working principle of the solar cell is also similar to that of PN photodiode only. Okay, actually in photodiode what it is? This is a depletion layer. So this is plus, 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 plus. Like this. So now when this PN junction diode, this is the depletion layer. So where is in this region where there is, which is free from mobile charge carriers. Where our depletion layer is the region which contains only immobile positive and negative ions in their respective regions. This is N-type and P-type. So similarly, when light is made to incident on this solar cell, this PN junction diode, what happens is electron hole pairs are generated and electron hole pairs are generated which will drift in opposite directions, as in the case of photodiode. So when these diodes move, they induce an EMF across this junction. Now if we connect a parallel circuit like this, that means it is shunted or open circuited like this. So a current flows across this junction. So output is taken from this one. Okay. So the working of photodiode solar cell is exactly similar to that of this photodiode. Okay. So in this case also, when light is light is made to incident on this depletion layer, electron hole pairs are generated which drift in opposite directions, induce an EMF, and this induced EMF is taken across, is connected parallel to a resistance is connected parallel to this, or it is open circuited, then the output is taken from this one. Okay, but the amount of voltage will be in small amounts, that means in the order of millivolts only we can generate. So to get a larger voltage, these cells are connected in series. Such a series connections or combination of these cells is called solar panels. Okay. So with use of solar panels, some kilovolts of electrical potential can be generated. But in actually a solar cell is made with two PN junctions, as we know. But here what taken is, suppose if you assume this as N-type or P-type, on which a thin layer of N-type is made. Okay. So P-type is thick one. That means the material towards the, which is towards the incident light, has to be made a thin layer, because light has to enter into this PN junction. If it is also made thick, so this light energy may be absorbed in this region only. So that one of this material is made thick. Suppose if we take P as large thick one, so other material has to be thin, so that light enters to this junction, PN junction. Okay, and a metal plate is deposited on the bottom surface of this P, and on this surface metallic fingers like this are made for external connections, so that this region in between is made deposited on this N layer, so that light incident on this gaps between these two metal regions like this, so that these metal regions, this one and this one, actually this is on this one, so the output is taken across this one. Okay, this is the working of solar cell. So solar cell is nothing but a PN diode, photodiode only. Exact working of photodiode is solar cell is exactly that of photodiode. but where here we require a larger surface area because we have to expose it to sun. So that means we expose it to a larger surface area. So the working is exactly similar to that of photodiode only. Okay, but in photodiode we connect like this photodiode into a series connection. Through a series connection to this this mode is called photoconducting mode, photoconductive mode. Whereas in this solar cell we connect it parallel like this. This is called photovoltaic mode. So the working of solar cell and photodiode is exactly same, but the operating mode is different. It is in photoconductive mode and this is in photovoltaic mode. Okay. Similarly, the voltage generated across here to be increased means we have to increase the current more. So to increase the current, more number of electron hole pairs are to be generated. So to increase the more number of electron hole pairs, we have to increase the intensity of light. So if more intense light is incident on the surface, more number of electron hole pairs are generated, so that we can get more EMF here. Now the last one, LED. LED means light emitting diode. 1 minute. The circuit symbol of photodiode and solar cell is this one. The photodiode is, this is already PN junction, this indicates P, this is N. So in this PN junction, light is, photodiode means light is incident on this PN junction, so it is indicated like this. This is the circuit symbol of photodiode, and solar cell is also the similar one. So this is the circuit symbol for photodiode. Now LED, light emitting diode. So light emitting diode is called LED. So this LED is also a PN junction diode, similar to that of ordinary PN junction only. So this is PN junction. And this is depletion layer like this. But in case of LED, what happens is, when the electrons which are majority carriers in N type will diffuse towards this P region, and the holes in this region which are majority carriers of this P region diffuse towards N region. At the junction, when they cross this junction of PN junction, they become minority carriers in this region. When this electron will diffuse towards junction and cross the junction and enters into this P region, it becomes a minority carrier, whereas this hole which is majority carrier in this P region, once cross the junction and enters into the N region, it becomes a minority carrier. Now these carriers, now this electron which is minority carrier after crossing into this P region, it may recombine with the majority carrier's holes, and similarly this hole which is majority carrier in P type now become a minority carrier in N type, it will combine with an electron, release energy. Okay. So when an electron and hole recombine, what happens is energy is liberated. Actually, if we consider energy band diagram like this, this is valence band, this is conduction band. When an electron becomes a free electron, its energy will be conduction band energy. When an electron is not free electron, which is in the as it is in a valence electron, so its energy will be in valence band. Now, whenever an electron enters into this conduction band, means if it gets an energy equal to Eg, this is the forbidden energy gap Eg. When an electron in this valence band gains an energy or absorbs an energy equal to Eg, it will excite to this conduction band, leaving a hole in this valence band. This is we know. Now, if this electron in this conduction band again recombines with this hole or fills this hole, so the excess amount of energy is liberated Eg. Okay? When this electron de-excites to its original valence band, then the amount of energy given out by it is Eg. If this energy Eg given out is in two different ways, either by thermal energy, that means either by heat or by light energy. If it gives in the form of light, then it is light emitting diode. Okay? So, when this recombination of electron and hole takes place, then the excess energy given out by the electron, free electron, is in the form of light, then it is LED. Actually, in case of silicon and germanium, which are elemental semiconductors, as we know, elemental semiconductors, the carrier lifetime is more. In these ones, the carrier lifetime is more and probability for recombination is very less. Whereas in the case of compound semiconductors like gallium arsenide and indium phosphide, these compound semiconductors have a carrier lifetime is less. That means the probability for recombination of electron hole pairs is more, and also they will give the recombination energy in the form of light. So, whereas elemental semiconductors, silicon and germanium won't liberate the excess energy in the form of light. So, they will give in thermal energy. So, that's why for an LED we have to use compound semiconductors. So, compound semiconductors only used for LEDs in the manufacturing of LEDs. So, which are gallium arsenide and indium phosphide. So, this is the LED. That means when electron and hole recombines, the excess energy of the electron is given out in the form of light, then that is light emitting diode. Now, what about the color of the light? It gives amount like this. So, as we know, H nu is equal to the energy given, that is Hc by lambda. So, if an electron in the conduction band de-excites to valence band, the emitted energy will be Eg, that is equal to Ah by H. So, here lambda indicates the color of the light, because color of the light depends upon the wavelength. So, here color of lambda indicates color of light emitted. So, lambda is equal to Hc by Eg. So, the color of light depends upon the energy gap of that particular material. Okay? Usually this gallium arsenide gives infrared region, but this one gives red and yellow colors. Indium phosphide will give red and yellow colors, but gallium arsenide will give infrared. Okay. So, the color of light depends upon the forbidden energy gap of the material. So, to get the visible light, the minimum forbidden energy gap must be 1.8 electron volt approximately. Okay. So, this is a, and this LED is always to be in forward biased. To get more light, so to get more intense light, so the intensity of light emitted by this LED depends upon forward current. If we increase forward current, more intense light will be emitted. Okay. So color of the light depends upon the forbidden energy gap of the material we have used in the manufacture of LED. Okay. Now this is about LED. So LED is a optical device which is used in forward bias, which converts electrical energy into light energy. So how this works is, when the PN junction diode is forward bias, at the junction of the PN junction, the recombination of electron and hole pairs, electron and hole takes place. The excess energy of the electron is given out in the form of light, so that the color of the light emitted depends upon the forbidden energy gap of the material. For the manufacturing of these LEDs, we have to use only compound semiconductors, because elemental semiconductors give out the light in the form of heat, whereas compound semiconductors give the excess amount of energy in the form of light. So the intensity of light depends upon the strength of the forward current. Okay, the intensity of light emitted by the LED depends upon this forward current, and the color of the light emitted by the LED depends upon the forbidden energy gap of this material. Okay, so the minimum current, the excess 1.8 electron volt or more. So the forbidden gap of energy 1 electron volt or more are used to get this visible light. One thing we can say is our AC remote or TV remote, there is an LED here, sensor. Okay. But if we switch on this, we won't get any, we can't visualize any light from the device to this remote, because it is a gallium arsenide one, because it emits only infrared region which is not visible to us. But in other cases, visible light we can observe the LED. Okay. So these are our optoelectronic devices. So what are those known as photodiode, solar cell and light emitting diode. In the circuit symbol of LED is similar to that of photodiode only, like this, whereas light is emitted from the diode junction, so it is indicated like this. Whereas photodiode, it is like this, light is incident on the diode, like this. So here light is emitted, here light is incident. So this is the, so the photodiode converts light energy into electrical energy. Here it is electrical energy is converted into light energy. What is the main difference? Both use the PN junction only. Here by using light we can generate electron and hole pairs, so that we increase the conductivity in this case. And in this LED, by the recombination of electron and hole pairs, here we are creating electron hole pairs, here we are combining electron hole pairs. By recombining electron hole pairs, light energy is generated. So this is the main difference. Okay. So photodiode and solar cell both work on the same principle, but this works on photoconductive mode and this is works on photovoltaic mode. So that is the main difference. Okay.